I'd like to welcome everyone to the December 2nd, 2013 Morganton City Council meeting. And now we'll have our public comment period, and each speaker will come forward as Kelly will call your name to the lectern and begin stating your name and address and what community you live in. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the City Council.
Carol Snow.
Hello, my name is Carol Snow. This is not really very fun for me. I'm not here for the fun of it. And I'm not really naive enough to think that whatever I say, that you're actually going to take it under consideration, because a lot of times when we speak to you, you don't. But I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway, because I'm an American, and I take my freedom of speech rights very seriously. And so I'll go ahead and press on with this, what I consider probably an exercise in futility. On your public comments policy, I've got 3 red flags I'd like to throw, because I've only got 3 minutes to do it. So the first one is on section 8, the council's response. And it says the policy states the council members will not respond to any questions or comments made by the speakers except to direct them to a staff member. So anytime you're regulating speech, even for the council members that are up here, and you're telling them they cannot speak, it says they shall not speak, they're not supposed to respond to us at all, that's when I start to sit up straight. So I have looked at this before, and I'm going to go ahead and forward the case Western Reserve Law Review to you, Mr. Renee. Is it Vinay? Vinay, I'm sorry. And there's like 11 pages of legal arguments for what, and they finally conclude, and I'll quote it. It says, elected representatives, even when acting in their official capacity, should enjoy First Amendment protections equal to private citizens. So any member up here, if they wanted to respond to me, the Constitution allows them to do that as far as what their legal review says. So yes, I'm advocating for y'all's right to talk. Not just my own, but for every member up here. So that might be a little strange one that you didn't expect for me to say. The second one you will probably not expect for me to say, and that is, the second red flag is under section 7, which is speaker etiquette, and it says your policy states that speakers will not be allowed to use obscene or vulgar words or gestures to make our point. Well, again, a quick search for legal cases will have you rereading or reading for the first time. It's a very, it's prevalent. It's Cohen v. California case, which the Supreme Court of the United States reviewed. And I'll remind you what Justin Harlan's opinion was, and it can be summed up as follows. First, states cannot censor their citizens to make, in order to make a civil society. Second, knowing where to draw the line between harmless, heightened emotion and vulgarity can be very difficult. And third, people bring passion to politics, and vulgarity is simply a side effect of free exchange of ideas, no matter how radical they may be. So yes, as liberal as it may be, I'm advocating for the people's right to use obscene and vulgar language, even during public comments.
Your time has expired.
Okay, and let me say though, that it's ironic that your retired public service officer has every right to use the vilest language on the planet to me and my daughter out in the street.
Your
But
time
what's
has
interesting
expired,
is
Ms.
this,
Snow.
is that we cannot use that language here. And he had the right
Ms.
to do
Snow,
it, which
your
is
time has
great.
expired. Please sit down.
These people are somewhere.
Don Bailey, 207 Lost Corner, Morganton, generally referred to as the low-end district of the city. I have one major question to ask, but to get to that one question, I need clarification from last month's meeting. Mr. Thompson, it's good to see you. I had the pleasure of sitting with you for an 8-hour session one day. Under your oath of office and your code of ethics and your training, It's my understanding that in a pecking order, you follow the U.S. Constitution, federal law, state of North Carolina Constitution, state laws, all general statutes, and then you do whatever the city's rules and regulations are. Is that, I think that's correct. In your public comment section, it covered the city council will direct whatever, the city council this and the city council that. First question I have is, who basically is the city council when it comes to who can, let's say, for example, the city attorney? You're not covered under city council. The city manager's not covered under city council. Ms. Russell's not covered under city council. So if we had a conversation and I wanted to ask Mr. Benet a question, he could allow me to be answered, where the council people could not. That's covered under general statutes, and if you'd like me, I can give them to Ms. Russell later. The point being simply this: to regulate an activity, the local governing board must first have the appropriate authority from the state. The local governments have been given authority to regulate many kinds of behavior. The state law does not already permit local government regulation of an activity. Local officials must ask the General Assembly to pass a bill granting that authority. Next, the local governing board must adopt an ordinance, a legal description by the Board of Behavior as being regulated, and I do not find where the public hearing, public forum has been assigned an ordinance. So my first question is, are the three people exempt from the city council definition that we could ask questions and be answered? And then the second part of that would be the, is it going to be made into a ordinance by definition of general statutes? That leads me to my third question. My third question, not to impose on anyone's hard feelings, but in the city of Morganton right now, we have Christmas trees and a star on the side of the Comma building, an angel with the trumpets on poles outside, Christmas tree article in the paper. When this session is over, you'll go into prayer of the council meeting, and on the website there is the word Christmas parade. Under the definition of church and state, I would like for someone to get back with me as to how you're able to do that. Thank you.
May I briefly say, Mr. Bailey, you may want to contact me as city attorney anytime. I'll be glad to talk with you about those issues.
So I could talk to you here.
No, sir, this is the public comment period for the
So
city
you're not
council.
talking about the comment.
Who's folks something?
Exactly, but the comment is to the city council, not to the city attorney or the city
But I
manager.
couldn't back it to you.
And I wouldn't answer it here. I would
That's
say,
fine.
see me
I just wanted you to
after.
say that you're not answering. Thank you. Do what I want.
Ms. Carona?
Dr. Aziz Omer, 101 Irvingdale Lane. I'd like to start off by saying this is probably one of the most embarrassing moments I have to tell you about what I just told Sally and Sandy. I think the mayor should know what happened in the last meeting outside in the lobby. Maybe he's not aware of his employees and how they act out about their vulgarity and their obscenities, because I have it on recording. Just that employee wasn't aware of the fact that it was going on. That my family and I have, vulgarity was used on my family and I by a city employee by the name of Sharon Jablonski. I'm sure you're aware of it. She's here in this meeting, where she used profanity, got in my face while all the other city police officers were here. And then she yelled out by the door, "What are you gonna do, fire me?" It's completely embarrassing, Mayor, that you have city employees like that, where you talk about that people should have respect here. I have my right to my First Amendment to speak about whatever I choose to speak about. If there's a question and concern, we can discuss it openly, and where I found my facts, as she says, I didn't know where I'm getting my facts from. She has no right to confront me here at City Hall to tell me and call me names. She was calling me names. I have it on record. It's completely absurd, Mayor. I mean, I think it's just out of line when you want to talk about, respect. And that person has no respect for me or my family or anyone else here after what she did here last time. Chief Talbert and quite a few of the other officers were all there. They all overheard her doing it just as so. She's a city employee. There should be some respect here. There's no dignity to that, to do such an absurd thing like that, Mayor. I know we have our differences, but I think we don't get into calling names to each other, Mayor. This is completely absurd what she did. And, she's your employee. I think you should look at that a little more carefully since I have it on record now.
Mr. Thurston?
Larry Thurston, I live at 3911 Brandy Street in Morganton, in Salem community. First of all, I want to congratulate Councilman-elect Ronnie Thompson. And I trust you will be an independent thinker up here. And you will certainly represent the people I expect you to change this election from October to November. So I thought I'd throw that in there. I'm a little concerned about the fact that there's a pattern of no respect for the First Amendment. I've been seeing this quite often here. If anybody don't know what the First Amendment means, freedom of speech. Now I realize that you can't cry fire in the theater when there's no fire. We're not talking about that. But this council and this mayor has no right whatsoever to dictate what people come up here to the podium and say. As long as you're not threatening somebody to kill somebody or injure somebody. Now, I'm very concerned about this, gentlemen. The last two times I came, I was concerned about the fact that you folks hadn't been a pledge of allegiance to the American flag up here for 32 years. Now, I'm glad to see y'all going to be doing this and have been doing it here recently. But the thing about it is I heard we regret this ever happened. I've never even heard this. So, you people do what you want to up here, but you're not looking good acting like that. You should have said, I regret, or we regret this ever happened. 32 years? All right. Mayor, I have seen you dictate to Dr. Omer especially what to say up here. And you're not supposed to repeat yourself, you told him. Now, I've heard you say that. I have heard you say that. It's on record. We don't want repetition of the same thing up here. Don't be saying the same thing up here. Basically what you say before. Another thing is, this violation of religion is concerning me too. This cross matter back during the festival. Now, you can say what you want to about the thing, but I have a little problem with that one too. Sharon Jablonski is not the queen bee of the city of Morganton here. And she's the one that spearheaded this drive to take that cross down up there. Now there is an assault on freedom of religion, especially Christians, in the whole world today. It's getting worse. Seems like the Christians are the ones being targeted out here mostly. Okay, you got this non-transparency going on now with the videotaping going on over there. You can't do it here for the speakers. Do it for the city council. All right, thank you.
We will recess until 6 o'clock. Thank you for attending.